Hi guys, welcome to my speech. This is my audience. So I wanted to bring everybody here today so that we could talk about recycling. In the United States, we have some interesting facts about why everyone should be recycling. As humans, we need to find a way that we can decrease our consumption of waste. One way to reduce the amount of stuff in landfills is to reduce what goes into landfills. But it is quite hard for us to reduce our waste on a day-to-day basis. We go through water bottles, plastic silverware, parts for our cars, clothing, and all kinds of stuff. For most of us, there's no way we can reduce our waste completely. Therefore, we should look into recycling. Recycling can help with some of our waste that we're producing to be reused into items we can use every day. In America, 25% of the food we eat on a day-to-day basis gets thrown away. We could be recycling that or saving it for leftovers. Back in 2005, the average American threw away 4.6 pounds of trash every single day. I believe that some of this can be recycled, reused, and reduced. So, some of us say that there are some issues with recycling, and I agree. We can look up the facts online. So, what are some of these issues? As we can see on the PowerPoint, we have the cost of the recycling center, the contamination that is caused often in the recycling plants, and the pollutants caused by the trucks from the recycling factories and by the recycling factory itself. So, if we do use the recycling plants, we can reduce our trash that is in landfills. But the way the landfills work is that the percentage in the landfills of green food that contains micronutrients to break down the solid waste isn't enough. We also can use recycling plants. However, to recycle a ton of trash costs $1.47 million, and the same ton costs only $28 million. That's a big difference, and recycling is a much greater cost. So, with the contamination, we have all the bacteria that is brought into the plant and the bacteria caused inside the plant. And the pollutants we have, like I said, are from the factory itself, putting off emissions in CO2, and the trucks going to pick up the recycling and people coming in and out of the recycling plant itself. So, what can we do at a lower cost that creates less contamination and less pollutants? I suggest everyone try composting. It seems like a lot of work, but it's really not. In composting, all you do is have a bin from the size of a coffee can to a big beer drum that sits in your backyard. It seems smelly, but there's actually a ratio that one can use where you have green and brown. The brown is stuff like fallen leaves, untreated wood, grass clippings, cereal boxes, floor crumbs, toothpicks, stuff like that. And you want that to be 20% of your compost pile. And the other percent is stuff that they call green. That is pretty much everything else that is trash. If you keep these percentages up with the rest of your trash, then you will reduce the smell that your compost pile makes. Composting is another great idea because It will give you great fertilizer for your grass and your plants. If you have really good compost, you can also sell it to your friends and neighbors for their home gardens. So I think that everyone would do good by composting. So to recap, we have the cost, contamination, and pollutants that are caused from recycling. Although recycling is great, it is costly. We have the facility costs as well as wages. Composting has no wages, since all you do is put your trash you already were going to take outside to your compost pile. On greatcompostingideas.com, they have all kinds of great ideas to get your composting started, as well as composting bins starting at $50. And if you go on to kingrecycling.com, you can look up the cost of actual recycling plants and compare the two, and hopefully you will choose to compost or recycle. So I would like everyone to raise their right hand and pledge to try recycling or composting as many times as possible in the next year. So everybody raise your hand and say, I will try to recycle.
I will try to recycle.
Okay, thank you guys so much, and enjoy your recycling. Thank you.